Hello there, calling up community. I'm Claudia Alick, and today we are talking about white supremacy versus white supremacist. So in today's workshop, one of the participants brought up a subject, and I suggested that their response to this microaggression could be to simply name what is happening. When you do that action, you are upholding systems of white supremacy. There was an immediate reaction of, we can't say that. It will insult the person. It's not insulting the person. The person might feel insulted, but it's not insulting to name the thing the person is doing, even if the thing the person is doing is insulting to other people. That's not insulting them. It's just naming what they're doing accurately. They were also concerned that the person would immediately be turned off after they were accused of being a white supremacist. And I immediately had to stop the room because I never even used the word white supremacist. I never used the language that described this imaginary person as doing, I said that this person was doing actions that supported white supremacy. I didn't accuse them of being a white supremacist. Now, in this workshop, we did talk about Jay Smooth's very useful video that I'm going to leave down in the links. And we talked about the difference between identifying the thing that the person did and identifying the thing that the person is. Those are two different conversations. And we're not interested in this conversation because we can't understand the ineffable a personhood, right? But we can talk about what happened, what is happening, the things people are doing. That's the upholding systems conversation, not the you're an ist conversation. And again, I never did that. So then we had to surface that right there was the defensive reaction that we had already reviewed. So I've already done this in one of the videos, but there are a lot of different reactions people can have when you say, oh, that happened. They can respond with, well, that didn't happen. Or they can respond with, oh, well, yeah, you might be hurt, but I was hurt too in a completely different way by somebody else elsewhere. So therefore, we shouldn't be talking about the damage I did to you by the thing that I did. We also talked about one of the most insidious defensive techniques by anti-justice advocates, as well as people who have simply done an action that is oppressive or harassing and have been called out on it or called in on it. And that reaction is the defense of accusing the other person of attacking you. By naming and acknowledging that the thing I did supports systems of white supremacy, you are hurting me because you insulted me and you called me a name. And it didn't happen. And now suddenly you're going to have a conversation about how you did not call them a name, and that's not what happened. We were talking about the thing that we were talking about. This was a useful exchange to have in the room, but also reminded me that this is an exchange we need to keep reminding ourselves because it's a defensive technique that is actually very actively in use. So, you cannot dismantle a system if you aren't allowed to use the word to describe that system. There is a reason why there are negative social repercussions for using the word white supremacy, for accurately reflecting when an action supports systems of white supremacy. If your organizational values list diversity, that means any actions being taken by an employee that are supporting systems of white supremacy are out of alignment with the organizational values. And if someone reacts by defending the actions that they took to support systems of white supremacy by attacking the person who named it, maybe they are a white supremacist. But that's a conversation that I am not interested in having. I want to talk about what are people doing and how do we do all of this better together. So that's all, calling up community. Watch that Jay Smooth video. It's awesome. And have a great week.